Okay. Z Zoom says I'm live. Let's see if that's true on the channel. Yes. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila. If you are seeing this at, well, it looks like it's 11:23, 1123, then you're seeing it live. Oh, thank you. I've been trying to go live ever since I told you I was going to go live. Remember how I told you sometimes I have to do it twice? Today I had to do it 3 times before it would actually pick me up and let me go live. I do not know what the connection issues are, except that must have something to do with the energetics or the traffic on YouTube. I don't know. So if you are watching this on New Light Streaming Love, it definitely is a replay because I can only go live in one spot at a time. Okay, that's very interesting. The first card to come out this morning is Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. Wow. That looks so different on camera than it does up close. That is so interesting to me. So, at any rate, part of the reason why I'm coming live to you this morning is to let everyone know that Crystal and I are going to be going live this evening doing readings for folks on Facebook. We're going to do it from the New Light uh, Streaming Love Facebook page. So if you are not familiar with that, I don't know if you're able to put a link to that in the chat, Crystal, or not. Probably not, because I don't think I have you set up as a moderator here. But maybe I do need to do that. If you know how to do that, you might be able to guide me through that. Can I do that? I can add you as a, if you're willing to do that, I would love to put you up as a moderator. Yay. Okay. So you're now a moderator. And if you know how to put a link to our page, oh, and the surrender deck gave us surrender stress. Well, that's good advice. I don't care who you are and what you're doing. And I know that it's been very stressful for everybody of late. I did learn, I didn't get to finish it, but I did learn that the part of the, Laurie, good morning. I'm so glad to see you. Um, I hope you heard what I said about we're going to be doing live card pulls and things like that tonight on the Facebook page. I hope you'll be able to join us. That's going to be beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And I say 8-ish, okay? Because it may be a little before, it may be a little after, partly because we haven't done it in a very long time. I tried to do a test before I decided to do this, and I didn't figure out how to do it. So we're going to do it right before we go live. So that's always fun. Oh my. The Singer of Connection is what came out from the Fairy Oracle. Wow, there's just so much happening right now. I want to say that what I learned through, and I didn't get to finish it, but I watched part of the Leo King's live stream about the new moon in Virgo. And what he was sharing was that that new moon had to come through three other zodiac signs very quickly to get to where it was the black moon in Virgo. And I feel as though that was, I can probably run it from, oh, okay, that would be lovely. However, we need to do that. Um, that could be part of this whole. I mean, I've been feeling all weekend long like I was trudging through syrup. It was just it's painful to move, and it just felt like my. I think I even alluded to it when one of the lives Crystal and I were doing, where I felt like it took a huge wheelbarrow to drag my ass around. It was that heavy feeling. And I just know that when I listened to what the Leo King had to say about the astrology, that's what plays into it. Of course, I know my my physical situation also plays into that, but I don't know. There's something for me about knowing where the energetics are and what's going on. And I have to say, ooh, ethereal touch came out from the journey of love. I was nudged in several directions this morning. And I'm being shown some puzzle pieces that indicate that there is an awful lot going on that I only think I know parts of, and I have suspicions about the rest. So those of you that have been following myself and Lisa and BZ since the old days of Conscious Conversation Central, if you are not subscribed to the Rumble channel, Conscious Conversation Central, which in every video that goes out there is a link all the way at the bottom of the page, there's a link to the Rumble channel. Haven't done a lot over there. That changes today. These are things that I cannot say here, and I cannot say on New Light Streaming Love. And so I told Crystal this morning, I will be doing some recording this afternoon that will not appear on either one of these channels. It will only appear on Rumble. And so I invite you over to Rumble video, but I'm inviting you right now if you're here so that you know. As soon as I figure out how to go live over there, I want to have some live conversations over there. And part of the reason for that is there's not a whole lot of truthers who also see the spiritual side of all of what's going on. It's like those two communities are at odds with each other. I saw that years ago, and I used to say on Conscious Conversation Central, this has to happen at some point. Because none of it shows up out there that it's not going on in here, right? It's a mirror kind of situation. And things are getting to a fever pitch now. And I think part of that is because it's got to get out on the table where we can see it, right? Can't do nothing about stuff you don't know about. So that's part of what I've always known to be true. You're going to be in self-denial about something. Well, you can't do anything about it as long as you're not willing to acknowledge whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter what it is. But that's a true statement, no matter what it is. So there's that. So, one more card. This is a brand new deck here. I was telling Crystal this morning. See, I have an Amazon wish list. This is going to be something that's going to go in one of the videos. I have an Amazon wish list where I put things that I'm nudged to purchase. Sometimes I'm able to go through that list and the nudge, okay, buy now. Because remember, I told you I follow all my nudges. If I'm nudged to buy something outright, I will buy it outright, whether I got the cash to be doing that or not. If I'm nudged, I trust my nudges, right? But things I see that I'm nudged to put on there, then whenever I get my check every month, I go through that list. Am I nudged to purchase this? No. How about now for this? No? Okay. This? Yeah? No? So this deck is one of the things I was nudged this time to get. It's been on my list for a while. Also, 2 books behind me, and they are being recorded and put over onto Rumble. They're not that long, and they have to do with things that you can't talk about here. So there's a lot of nudging going on and those books have been on my wish list since 2018. And I have not been guided to actually purchase them until now. And so I don't know what that means specifically, but I've seen a whole bunch of other puzzle pieces I was sharing with Crystal this morning that would seem to suggest that there's some big stuff afoot. So I guess we'll see. So from this new deck, which is the Elemental Energies, we got Tempestuous Transformations. Well, now, isn't that interesting? To go along with what I'm feeling in the air, navigate the tempestuous energies of transformation, emerging wiser and stronger. Oh, and I'd like to point out that certainly looks like a multi-dimensional storm, does it not? For those of you who get the meaning there. Interesting that, especially in light of, well, I was telling Crystal, I was shown on Facebook yesterday where there were 11 reported earthquakes in our general area of South Carolina, North Carolina, but all of these were reported in South Carolina at the exact same time as earthquakes were captured on camera in Australia. Kind of interesting that. So who wants to go first? Which are we going first here? Well, this one seems very peaceful. From the Alchemy Elementals, we have Water Spring Star here. That's a really pretty, very peaceful card. Could speak to connection as well, if you ask me, because of what I'm seeing reflected in that pool there. It almost looks like a child with a bunny rabbit in the pool. I don't know how well that would transfer on camera there. Water Spring Star. On page 45. Okay. Water Spring Star. You are being beckoned into a journey of discovery. Gather your courage and your faith, my love. It is time to let go of the old and to venture into the unknown. Let's be clear. This journey has nothing to do with obligation, expectation, or have tos. And it's not about goals or achievement or arriving at some great grand destination. This is a journey of desire and discovery. This is a journey of pleasure and passion and all that you could possibly want. Allow yourself to let go of everything you thought you were and everything you thought was required of you, and let yourself be guided by your deepest yearnings. Ooh, that sounds lovely. The deeper you allow yourself to delve into your authentic, heartfelt longings, the more you will discover about yourself and the world. Ooh, gosh, that sounds so lovely to me. And it really does go hand in hand with transformation. I don't know about tempestuous chance transformation necessarily, but I don't know. I would love to hear from some of you that are here now to what does this invoke within you? When you hear that about your deepest yearnings, most of the time we're taught, oh, don't go there. You can't think about that. You can't want that. I'm being asked, obviously, to challenge myself on that. So I would love to hear what any of you think that are here live now, or we'll see this later. What does that bring forward for you when you think about that? The next card that wants to come after that is ethereal touch, and boy, that's I can understand why that would be the next card. Ethereal touch. Spirit is present in your very touch at this time. You are having an impact on the world around you, particularly your close relationships, in ways that are far more profound than may be immediately obvious. The touch of your soul is ethereal, spiritual, of light and sound. It moves the heart and opens pathways of possibility through love, faith, and trust that would otherwise be impossible to access. Trust in the presence of the divine in your touch, physical and spiritual. Your healing presence is making waves of love rise and stir in this world, and the divine lives and breathes through you, beloved. Remember that through the sacred temple of your body, gifts you with hands through which to hold and give. It is the soul within the flesh that renders touch a sacred healing. This oracle guides you to accept and embrace your healing abilities and to trust that you can feel your way through life by opening your hands to receive and taking hold of the opportunities that are presented to you. You are meant to touch the world with your spirit. In a world of no consequences and no mistakes, you were heaven sent. I thank God for the opportunity to know you, to experience your kindness, your generosity, and most of all, our love. How long I have waited to open my heart, to bare my soul, to let my power comfort and my arms hold, to let my wisdom counsel and my love awaken. Oh, I want to cry. While this is only the beginning, when I look in your eyes, I know. The truth is, we're not supposed to allow ourselves to believe that much in ourselves. Isn't that a true statement? I say poo poo to all of that. And I am thankful for every one of you that are here now, that will see this later, that I ever get to meet in person. Because we are so much more than we have ever been led to allow ourselves to believe. And I know that to be a truth now. I know that with all of me. Wow. And of course, the fairies want to come next, and I can see why, because this is the singer of connection, is what came out here. Card number 6. That's a 9. That was a 9 because it was on page 45. This one's a 6. This one's a 6. Very interesting. 369. You know, that whole thing from Tesla. Important frequencies there. Not quite sure what. I'm feeling not like a tingling in my head right this second. I don't know what that's about. Card number 6, the singer. I just want to bawl, man. What? It's trying to come through. I'm a little dizzy, man. The spiritual connection, karma, balance, empathy. This singer supports all connections. Can I get through this without snotting? That would be lovely if I could. This singer supports all connections, the web of light between all beings, all particles. And I'm having such a sensation down from my crown chakra down the right side. Boy, whatever this is very interesting. Not had this ever. The web of light between all beings, all particles, and between past, present, and future. It brings wholeness to apparent duality and combines all energies, uniting all that was, is, or could be. When we lose awareness of this connection in our lives, we feel isolated, lonely, bereft. How many of us have felt like that? I know I have a lot in my life felt like that. Yet the energy is there. We only need to be open to it. That's why I keep saying we haven't allowed ourselves to believe that it's even possible, much less true. And it is very true. There are emotions that help us open up: love, compassion, trust, and so on. There are other emotions that we tend to close down around unless we make a special effort to keep our hearts open. Yep. As you can probably guess, these emotions are feelings such as jealousy, anger, fear, grief, and others of a similarly painful nature. Yet sometimes these very emotions, when carried to an extreme, cause us to break down and then break through, which is why I advocate to feel every emotion, every feeling that you have. all the way through. Allow it to inform you of what it's trying to inform you of. To shut myself. I was told all my life, you can't go around acting like that. You have to shut that down. You cannot act that way. You're too emotional. And we learn to shut it down, to ignore it, to deny it, to sweep it under the rug. I personally feel like we cannot afford to do that on this planet any longer. Our vessels, the temple in which we reside, suffer the consequences of that. At least mine sure as shit did and does still. Yet sometimes these very emotions, when carried to an extreme, cause us to break down and then break through. This is a risky way to go, as well as an extremely difficult one, because more often the breakdown just stays broken for a long time. And then we retreat back into a more crippled version of our original selves. Well, I know that's what I was doing and sometimes still do, and I cannot afford to do that anymore. A far better way to become ever more aware of our essentially holistic nature is to work at keeping our hearts open, seeing relationships, being earthed and centered and connected. In a meditation, someone, and I suspect it was this singer, asked me to let go of all my defenses. I argued that surely we needed some defenses in this world in order to survive. Do you know how many people say that I need to protect myself? I've heard this over and over and over again. And I know folks mean well because we've been taught that we have to protect, bring in that white light, do this, that, the other. I can't do that anymore. I can't, and I won't. If it's something horrific that is presented to me, then it's something I need to handle. It's another portion of me. We are all one and yet separate as well. And if that is the case, then it's something I need to handle, not shut out, not, like that. So I have to agree with this right here. I argued that surely we need defenses in this world in order to survive. I was firmly but lovingly told it is the only by letting go of all your defenses that you become invulnerable. Because if I need defense from you, then that's my agreement that you are able to harm me. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, I'm sorry, for me, that is so logical that it's scary. That means that I agree you have the ability to hurt me, and I don't agree with that. I don't. So, and I have seen that very truthfully for myself. That gave me such a strong shock of recognizing the rightness of it that I couldn't even breathe for a moment. But then, still reluctant because it sounded like a big job, I muttered that I didn't think I knew how to do that or even what all my defenses were, which is true because I still have defenses. Don't think I don't catch myself putting up defense shields every now and again because I do. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you I'm some sort of perfect being because that ain't happening. I know better than to say that silly stuff. I was assured kindly that I would receive help if I asked for it, and I know that you will be given the same aid too. I'm constant. If I can't see something, I ask Crystal to show me. If Crystal, whatever Crystal tries to show me, I still can't see it. I ask Lisa. If it ain't Lisa and Crystal, after I've been asking myself and not getting anything, I just keep my eyes and ears open and something will happen to show me. Through the power of this singer, all connections are made, held, and released as appropriate. In a reading, this singer indicates the connection of things, especially reconnecting those that have been sundered. It is unifying and reunifying. It tells us that we need to be aware of the connections between different aspects of the issue under discussion, as well as the connections between the people linked by it. We also may need to build more connections, a network of mutual support. The presence of the singer of connection in a reading indicates support and strength flowing through the connections between those involved. This is meant to be a general reading, of course, for myself, absolutely, but also for the collective. So this is very interesting to me, especially in light of what I was being shown this morning, which, again, I can't talk about here, but it does have to do with the entire planet, and it does have to do with things that have been going on under the surface of the planet, big time. Things that are coming out, things that are finally being released, right? There's a whole lot of that that is happening. So this one next, is this the one that's next? Well, we're going to do this one, surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to center. Now, I'm going to tell you something very interesting about this pose right here that you see on this card. While Crystal and I connected very briefly in Zoom right before I was told to go live here now. While I was waiting for her to enter the room, I was being shown something on a relative's story on Facebook. So I'm not clear exactly what this is about, but there was something that caught my attention. It had to do with a very huge statue that was on display on stage in this pose, exactly this pose. This very much is a stance, if you will, of surrender. To me, it highly speaks to the idea of surrender, which, again, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know I had real trouble with that word. When you've been abused consistently in your life, especially in the spousal area, once you overcorrect, like I did, oh, hell no, there'll be no surrendering here. Right? I mean, so I'm not real clear as to exactly why this is coming out in the way that it is. But the fact that I was just shown that very specifically in the opposite duality, because it was on stage at a concert with a being purportedly to be the other side of duality, let's just say. It was one of those concerts that takes place where there's, like, I don't know, tens of thousands of people in attendance. It looked like it was happening in some sort of stadium. I'm guessing in Florida because that's where these relatives are. I have to look into that a little. I don't understand why this has come out in the way that it has, but it has something to do with that pose. So I have a feeling there's going to be more about this for me personally. I find it very interesting nonetheless. And I wanted to share that with you guys. So the next card, or I should say the last card, because this is the last card, is card number 42, which again is a 6 numerologically. So like I said, we have 6 and 9s all over this reading here. Netcaster. See, the way that shows up, you can tell that it's a woman with a hat and a net, but also, I don't know, I see other beings in that too. I don't know how to explain that. So preparations come to fruition, a surprise, a result beyond expectations. The netcaster arrives to tell you to stop praying for the fish, for they have arrived. And it's time for you to cast your net, lest they swim away. Everything that you long for is within reach, but it has been so long since your prayers were answered that you had forgotten how to receive what is being offered to you. Well, now that's kind of interesting based on all the rest of this, isn't it? Cast your net. Put down the prayer beads and open your arms and your heart to rewards beyond measure. Take the next step that you have been planning for so long. Remember that the fish wait for no one, so time is of the essence. Heaven and earth are in perfect alignment for your victory. The stars are positioned for success. The only one who can spoil the perfection of the moment is you. If you ask, do I really deserve this? You will sabotage the magic and shatter the crystalline flawlessness of the now. Flawlessness of the now. The netcaster can also arrive to bring you bad news, to tell you that you have been snared in someone's trap and must wriggle free. But remember what I said a moment ago about protection. That means I would have to agree that I need protection, or, and I don't feel like I have to wriggle free from anything. So right now it feels comfortable enough, even as the net begins to tighten around you. Do not wait until it is suffocating you before realizing you must escape and run for your life. I have said that if somebody tells you they got the only way to do something, you need to run. Because there's always more than one way to look at something, to understand something, there's always more than one perspective. It's that one perspective that what we think we understand that has gotten me into trouble a lot in my life. Do not wait until it is suffocating you before you must escape and run for your life. It is still early enough to exit gracefully. Bide your time until all the conditions are right. Go to your place of stillness, of deep quiet, and watch for the signs that a new opportunity have arrived. Right now, you are patient because you feel that things will go your way. Learn to be patient with the people and situations that are more challenging. Well, and part of that too for me. Oh, Gianna Tadona, I'm so glad that you could join us. If I'm not mistaken, Gianna, you're the one that you understand Italian only, right? I mean, is this coming up in English for you and translating it, or do you? I don't understand how that works. I mean, it may not be you that has commented. A time or two, there's been some sort of failure, and I had to take your comments into Google to translate. If that's you, well, that was the last card, and I feel as though, like I said, overall, this really shows me the well, yeah, the rightness of what I've been suspecting, and that there's more to come from that. So I want to thank you guys for being here. I hope that you got something out of this. I know I got quite a bit out of this for myself, which is what these are always about. In addition to it being for the collective, I feel, as I do feel the collective quite heavily a lot, I think. Um, you guys, everybody's mileage is absolutely going to vary, and it will vary depending on what your individual perspective is, what your belief system is, what you're actually engaging with, right? We had this conversation this morning, Lisa and her mom and I. I have a local friend here who really sees how people are so self-centered, and she, has a very her view on humanity is that they're not very nice people, and she gets treated not very nicely. But my experience of people, even complete strangers, I had an experience this weekend on Facebook Marketplace. Something was up for sale that I really, really wanted, but they live an hour from me. And I thought, well, Sunday I could maybe do a Sunday drive. Maybe it would feel nice, but I just couldn't. I told you I couldn't hang, man. And so I told the lady, I said, I really appreciate it. I really wanted it, but I can't, I really can't come out to see you guys. So please don't hold it for me. Sell it to someone else. And she was so sweet. She made arrangements. She figured out how to make arrangements. And those arrangements just texted me. I cannot believe that I'm speaking on this whole situation, and I just saw a text pop up on my phone. She made arrangements with her son's girlfriend to meet me right here locally, right where I'm going to be at approximately 1 hour from now, where it's not out of my way, so that I can purchase this for $15. And she even offered to give it to me for 10. She doesn't know me. She's not a follower. I could be the most heinous person on earth, but she don't know that. And it's all in what I just feel like it's all what we put out, we get back. That's what karma is, I think. That's what Lisa's team has informed her. And I swear I think that's true. Because the more I see people who are walking around miserable with themselves and everything about life, they have a miserable experience because that's the perspective that they are swimming in. Frequencies attract like frequencies. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It just is. And so the fact that you were drawn here tells me that 9 times out of 10, there's something, at least one thing in this reading for you. And I appreciate all of you. I want to remind you again that at 8 p.m. Eastern, if you will go and I don't know how that's going to work, but New Light Streaming Love Facebook page, Crystal and I are planning on doing a live there where we will pull cards and chat with you guys over there. We'd love for you to come and join us over there. So it's going to be a new thing we're going to try. There'll be a lot of new people there too, I'm sure, because Crystal has done stuff on Facebook a lot more than I have. And I don't know how all that works, but we'd love to see you over there. Join us for that. And I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy, that which draws your attention. There's something for you there, some experience that is for your highest good, no matter what. I really see that now. No matter what I want to label something, it all serves. In the end, it all serves. So until we meet again, my friends, and don't forget to go to Conscious Conversation Central on Rumble, because before that live tonight, there will be at least one video over there that I'm going to share what I can't share here. Till then, be well.